What the deal? What the deal? What the deal? What the deal? Top of the morning, my good peoples. Waiting for some more heads to flood in. Hope all is well. It's been a while. Let me close up some of these windows up here. It's been a while. It's been a while. I know. It's my bad, but well needed. Um, yeah, I just needed it. You know what I mean? I've been working dumb hard, so I did need that time off. Top of the morning, Jid is definitely in the building. Breezy is definitely in the building. Appreciate y'all falling in. Appreciate y'all falling in. Yeah, I ain't been keeping track of baseball, man. You know, I mean, you are talking about baseball, right? Um, you know, even though I'm in LA and the Dodgers are here and they're always amazing. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I can't act like I know a bunch about baseball, but I know the Dodgers are always amazing. So there's that. How y'all been, man? I miss y'all, man. I've been working so much. I've been working and then I took some time off after work. So I've been like chilling. Like I'm trying to get back into the groove of things, get back into my schedule. Um, had some time to relax a bit, and I did. You know what I mean? So this is me getting back in the groove of things and hoping to, spice this thing up, keep it going, better ideas. I dig that for sure. I'm the same. I'm not a diehard. I'm a diehard Laker fan for sure, but Dodger fan. I'm not a diehard Dodger fan, but they always kicking ass. So I'm a salute to the Dodgers always, and I'm always cheering for them. But I can't front and claim to you like I just been a mighty, diehard Dodger fan since forever. I'm just from LA, so anything LA except the Clippers. But other than that, anything from LA, I'm pretty much repping. That's I'm on that type of time, so I feel you on that, 100%. How y'all been though? Keep JT Lit is definitely in the building. Appreciate you. Oh, so are you a Lakers fan without LeBron though? That is the question. I've been a Lakers fan since the '80s. I was born in the shit. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. Um, yeah, Michelle. You know what, man? First of all, what's up to you, Michelle? Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you. Miss you greatly. Lakers and Clippers. That's it can't be two. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like either what side of the needle you fell on. If you're a Laker fan, you were never a Clipper fan. And if you're a Clipper fan, you hated us because we were always winning. So it's always been that huge rival between the both of us. So there's no shared part of this city, not as far as I see it. So I'll never be a Clipper fan. And for Clipper fans, you ask them the same thing, they die hard with it too. They'll never be Laker fans. So we just rocking like that. Which is crazy, and I don't understand that because Clippers, since I've been alive, I'll be 46 in November. Since I've been alive, um, I'm trying to see where the barrier for entry to become a Clipper fan would fall under. Unless my parents were Clipper fans, there's no history of a winning season. So I sometimes I ask myself, what was it about the Clippers that somebody liked? Like when did you? Now I'm not you. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'll be 46. So I'm not the oldest cat, but I'm not the youngest dude either. And my whole entire life, they've been on a losing streak. So I don't know where the barrier of entry was for the Clippers. So I don't understand it when people like they Clipper fans. I'm like, well, how? And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like when? What was it about them to say, you know what? I like that team. The crazy part is, I'm not even joking. These are facts. What I'm actually saying. You know what I mean? Oh, I appreciate you, Michelle, for real. I do, and I gotta have you on again too. I got some. I gotta look. I got this topic I want to talk about. Um, but it needs a woman's touch because I had a conversation with my homegirl yesterday, and I love her so. Don't get me wrong, what I'm about to say, but it was so exhausting. And the conversation started off about the narrative between black men and black women, and then it kind of just veered off, not by my choosing, veered off into how all men, ruined the world, and then women aren't necessarily blamed for anything, right? And I wasn't blaming women. That was the cold part. So I don't understand how we got to either point of this conversation. And it was so exhausting because it lasted so long. And though I told myself, this is my friend, I love her, and it's her opinion. I'm not saying she's wrong or not, because with the most of the stuff she was saying about men, I agree with her. I'm not an idiot. I see what's been going on in the world, right? But at the same time, I kind of want to talk about it. It needs a woman's touch, but I don't want to talk about it with her because she's kind of like, she can't see it no other way. Like I don't think there's no open mindedness for trying to view the world in another way. Sometimes our experiences shape the way we see things, and we think our view is the world view, and sometimes we can be dangerously wrong depending on the information you put out there. So I do need a woman's touch for that topic if I were to have it again, because I do want to listen and listen to understand, not listen to just to be have a conversation, but also everybody can't think like that, especially, and I don't believe every woman think like that for sure, but it was just a lot of like, I don't know, but it needs a woman touch. you know. So yeah, I got to have a woman's. I need that for that topic specifically. Um, I need a woman's touch. And I would love to hear what you think. Whoever, Breezy, Michelle, I would love to have you on if you're with it. It can even be in the membership side. We can make it private, membership only, and then have that conversation then and there, or however. But I do want to have that conversation, whenever possible. But I do miss y'all, man. I miss having a conversation. I miss tapping in the morning, saying good morning to people, and having these random conversations about, whatever it is, pop culture, whatever's going on in the mind, whatever somebody said in the chat. I do miss having those conversations. Go ahead, babe. Miss having those conversations with y'all. So um, I just need a little break. So I've been working, and after that, I couldn't really run back to the computer and just start talking again every morning when I was still working on other gigs. So I need that little break. But I'm here now, and it's good to see y'all for real. But yeah. I do want to have that conversation. It was interesting. It was like I said, it's the homegirl, man. She's cool. And I love her so, but that conversation was really exhausting, and I was just like, man, like there's no kind of like open mindedness to that conversation. So it's like I don't know how to explain it, but okay, dope. Dope. We're gonna do that then, Michelle, for sure. I think it'd be super cool. Yeah, so I want to cover a couple things today. Obviously, I want to talk about, not really talking, not go in depth because nothing to go in depth about, but I want to go in depth about, the screening. I didn't talk about that. So I did a video. So Michelle, you can also see I did a small video in the membership chat, about my latest life update. I kind of spoke on it a little bit, but I'll speak on here more so about the screening. The screening was, it was awesome. It was dope. It was. It was amazing to see so many people in support of, um, something that me and my guys all had our hands on, and the city showed out. It wasn't just Watts. Obviously, the bunch of people from Watts to come see their city or certain people they knew in there or whatever the case may be, or just a documentary about them. But the whole LA just seemed like they were outside. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's 4,000, 5,000 plus people in the Peacock Theater in LA Live for anybody that knows the area. And it was just dope to see that many people. And I'm talking about from all different walks of life. Older, young, white, black. The police was there, the gangbangers was there, the streets was there, the teachers were there, the students were there, business people, you know what I mean? Like they had finance guys in the place, philanthropists. It was just filled with so many different souls and so many different walks of life, all kind of focused and tune in on the little city of we call Watts, California, and the reactions from it's funny when you're watching this the rough cuts of this documentary that's getting aired. I mean, I'm sorry, you're watching the rough cuts in editing, and certain parts hit you in different ways, and you kind of take that on as like your part's coming up where you cried here, you laughed here, or you felt bad here, you wanted to help here. But it's interesting watching a crowd of people react to different things. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that you reacted to, maybe some of the things you cried to, but also some things they enjoyed and they celebrated, which I thought was pretty dope. And people felt the difference in people attaching themselves to different personalities in the screen, and also that was dope, and it was amazing to see. Yeah, it was there was a moment where it was a little unreal for me, but that wasn't necessarily during the screening. I was at rehearsal the day before, and it was just the orchestra setting up. We had an orchestra that was pretty dope. It was the orchestra setting up, and I'm sitting in the audience, and it was all empty, right? I think it's 7,000 seats is in the Peacock Theater, I think. Um, and I'm sitting in the seats, and I'm sitting there by myself, and I'm looking around. The orchestra setting up, tuning their instruments up and stuff like that, and you got the MD on stage. My man Sticks running around, producing and programming, doing what he's doing, and just the people on stage, the stage hands and stuff like that. And I'm looking around, and I got weak. Like I just got like a good week. Like I cried like a little bit, like the tears started to fall a little bit, and it's because it was just unreal that I'm. I visited here. I've been in this theater multiple times just to watch legendary artists do concerts. You know what I mean? I watched some of the biggest comedians do concerts there, and I watched, you know, me and my wife. I think just last year, if I'm not mistaken, went to it was an old school concert with I think it was People Bryson, a bunch of people, and but I've been there so many times to watch all these greats and these legends, and to the fact that we're in there from something I had my hands on, and my brothers and my peoples had their hands on. That was absolutely amazing, and it's so much bigger than any one of us, which is crazy. And then it's about it's a documentary, a screening of a documentary of the city I was raised in. So there's that. So these people, these projects, these streets they talking about, these areas, these gangs, these students, these schools, I know all of it, and I'm familiar because these are streets I come from. So in that, when I'm sitting there reflecting on like how we get here, it just kind of broke me down. You know what I mean? Um, Even now, I'm not necessarily over it. The screening went down on the 10th. That was what, literally 10 days ago. And I'm still like, wow. And mostly, I think I'm not over it also because that was the screening. That wasn't the premiere. The official premiere is the top of the year. We're working right now to work for having a couple of meetings about distribution and stuff like that, and then we're going to see how we're going to exactly who we're going to put it out through. So all you guys will be able to see it top of the year for sure. 2026 for sure. And I'm excited about that because once we do see it, we'll get to have that discussion here. I would love to have a panel or something about the doc. You know what I mean? I think that'd be dope. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited though. I'm excited. And thank you. I appreciate that, Michelle. Um, it was amazing. It was amazing. And here's the dope. We had Kim Burrell. She performed. Kenyon Dixon, for those who know Kenyon Dixon, amazing artist. He just put out an amazing project. Him and Terrace Martin just dropped an amazing project together. And Stevie Wonder showed up. How dope is that? So I go out the back. I go to grab one of my partners through the back area where they were, where the artist was coming through at. And one of my partners couldn't get in through the front. Something was going on with the tickets. So he went through the back, and I went to go pick him, grab him through the back. And I paused, first of all. But I walked to the back to go get my guy, and Stevie Wonder's being ushered in, which I didn't know was coming. And I'm like, what are you doing here? like, you know what I mean? It's Stevie Wonder, like legendary. Like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? Then I got word that he heard about the documentary, and also he got an early copy of the documentary to see it. That was their words, not mine. And I was like, well, how's that happen? Stevie's blind. Like, what do you mean you want to see it? But they told me there's some technology that where for blind people to watch like movies and TV shows, there's a what's it, like a coding or something you can input into into the film. Like it's a first of all it's a very expensive thing they do where they input like an audio thing, and I guess as they are listening, there's a person who's narrating the whole thing, whether it's a movie, documentary, whatever it is. So that's visually they're kind of getting it through Audible, right? And I think that's how they watch. I heard that's how the process goes. If I'm off a little bit, you correct me, or if I'll come back later and correct myself. But that's how I heard. He watched the whole thing. He seen the whole thing. Well, he listened to the whole thing. However it go, but he seen it, heard it, or whatever. And anyway, he was a fan of what he experienced and wanted to be in the building the night of, and he pulled up. And I thought that was amazing. I was absolutely floored that I just walked to the back door, paused, and Stevie Wonder was walking out for an event that I had my hands on. What is life right now? You understand that? I be tripping. You know I'll be tripping, right? And I'm not gonna get preachy, but I gotta say this because it's my life and I don't care. So you know when I be tripping out, when I be saying how good God is, you know what I mean when I be talking about that is because like in the midst of sometimes in my life, I'll be going through some of the darkest things that I deal with, right? Things I consider dark. Maybe down on my luck, down bad, maybe a rough time in my life. And then in the midst of all that, God be doing like amazing things, right? I may be complaining about like whatever my I don't know, I'll be on myself about my self esteem sometime or some financial something, and then God will put me in a situation that'll blow my mind. And it blow my mind so much it takes away from me thinking about the other stuff. And then when I'm through it, like at the end of it all, when I'm finished doing the thing that I did, the amazing thing I experienced, I get to look back and I'm like, damn, wait, I threw a like we had a whole screening at the Peacock Theater. All them people, Stevie Wonder showed up, Kim Burrell sung. We had an orchestra. We had every division from the for the police department show up, and they weren't even. It ain't like we told them we hired them for police presence. They were in support of the documentary, and all these people showed up. And in the midst of that, life seems a little crazy for you personally. You always it's always a reminder of like why complain when in a second your life can be turned around and you're in a a upward flow of greatness or blessings or whatever it may be, right? And so the flip side of that is that you could be just living life, not really appreciating the blessings you may be going through, and then it get flipped and turned the other way. So that's tough. You know what I mean? So I always want to be, in the mindset of like giving the praise, and that's why I talk how I talk. And sometimes it offends people. Sometimes they like, oh, I don't want to hear that stuff. You talking about God again? But that's my life. That's who is in charge of my life. That's who's running my life. So when I do celebrate these wins, I always give him the glory because I know it doesn't happen without him. There's no way you be in certain positions where you just lost your job, you about to get evicted, somebody passed away, you dealing with grief, or your car just shut down, and your kids is mad at you, your wife is tripping on you, your husband tripping on you, all these things, and God be like, here, I'm about to elevate you. New job, new promotion, house, big old check from somewhere. Um, your kids turn a new leaf and they forgive you for that thing you did, and your wife or your husband ain't tripping no more. They back it. Like all these things happen in the drop of a dime. So while I'm sitting in that theater, looking around at all them people just staring at the screen, laughing and crying, and some people didn't want to look at the screen because something like crazy was happening, or just having these, dealing with all these emotions of the real life that was displayed in that documentary. I'm looking around amazed that y'all are even here. And I just thank God in the middle of it. I'm like, I just thank you because how? You know what I mean? Yo, it's yeah, man. You know, I I just know God is real, and I know He's, if you believe, He will take care of you. If you let Him lead, He will lead you to greatness and glory, and He will always rain the blessings down on you. And this is just the beginning, as far as I believe. I believe. I believe that God has a room full of like all your desires, right? Within reason, right? You can't desire nothing dark and crazy. I'm talking about all your desires within reason. He has a big old room with all your stuff in there. No matter what it is, gifts, cars, house, blessings, love life, relationship, friendship, safety, protect, all the, not well, safety protection come with the job, but all the other stuff, right? And and he just like give you things and dropping off things. Believe in him and pray and live life, love thy neighbor, and just believe in him, trust in him, and try to live a life, try to live a good life. We're not, none of us perfect. We all fall short. So, but I believe if he know you're trying to live that life, you're trying to walk that walk, he's gonna be dropping off stuff for you. Just taking stuff out your room, giving it to you. Boom, boom, boom. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Oh, you want a new job? Here you go. Oh, you thought you wasn't gonna have rent by the first, and it's the 31st. Here you go a check. Oh, you thought they was about to come take your car. No, no, no. Boom. Here go your last 3 months car note. God is good. God is good. I just want us all to believe it. God is good. So yeah, so Michelle, first of all, thanks for asking. Yes, the screening was amazing, and I'm so blessed to have been a part of it. And it's not over yet because like I said, we still got to do the full on premiere. That's top of the year. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be amazing. I know you're going to love it. And just more blessings to come, more elevation to come. You know, more promotion and work and stuff that we got to do, right? But I'm just excited. I'm excited. 100%. Blessings on blessings. Straight up. Straight up. I don't know what else to call it. That's what it is. That's what it is for real. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. And ever since then I kind of took a break, and I've been working, doing my Uber stuff, and I've been trying my jotting down ideas for content creating and stuff like that. I did a couple of videos behind the scenes that weren't live. But most of all, I've been just doing the other stuff and just resting. Right? I be tired, and I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm tired right now. Photo up. Salute. Thanks for stopping by. Man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm tired right now. Like right now. But I know I gotta get back in the groove of doing my home because, you know, first of all, I like doing homeroom and I love this community, and I just want to keep going, stay at it, keep being consistent. But I still want to I want to record another video today. Also, I have a couple of ideas I want to do, but I got to figure it out. But I do want to record another video today. It's not a live stream, so I'm gonna record. I'm thinking of having another panel too. I want to interview. First of all, I want to interview one of my good friends. My good friend Sticks. Was one of the producers on the documentary. I want to get him on here and talk about. Actually, him and I'll talk to him. I want to get him on here to talk about the documentary and plans for what he has going for the near future. He got some really dope things going on. I've been working with him. That's my brother for life, and I know you'd be interested to see what we've been working on in music. So I'm really excited to get him on there. So I got to work out something to get on there too. And yeah, we gonna work it out. In fact, I gotta hit him and see too. But yeah. You know what been killing me too? I've been seeing a lot of videos of people talking about this is a way left. We just hit a major left. Anyway, I've been watching the videos. We talked about people been talking about the lawsuit, the Drake lawsuit, right? UMG, how the judge dismissed the UMG lawsuit, and it's been all this banter back and forth about, that was the plan from people who consider themselves OVO fans. I don't want to box them in and say that, but people are saying that, so I'm only saying it so I can point you to who I'm talking about. How to make that up, but they're saying that the fans are coming up with great excuses to the lawsuit being dismissed, which doesn't favor on Drake's side. And saying that was the plan initially. He wanted to do that so he can. I don't even understand what their argument is. I think when you get a little delusional, you start making stuff up. I don't think you realize how confusing it sounds. So I start to feel stupid because I'm reading some of these responses to the dismissal, and I'll be questioning if it's me. And then once I sit by myself and my logical, smart brain they start thinking on its own when I'm not listening to that crap. I'm like, hey, nigga, it ain't you, it's them. Let's not be confusing that. Like, then I gotta check myself. Like, man, I'll be tripping, listening to them about that stuff, But it's crazy to me because it's crazy about one thing that's crazy about Drake is I don't see how he doesn't see how bad this is to look for him and has been in the last year and a half. I don't get how. Okay, well, maybe ego and your arrogance can be so big and vast, pause, that you can't see nothing outside of that. And even though the people are saying, yo, you wildin', this ain't a good look, you should probably chill, and you start noticing people that were cheering for you in the beginning starting to say the same thing, like, yo, let it go. Leave it alone. That was the L that happened. We all know that. Leave it alone so you can move on. It's like, now you hurt your own fan. You so in the midst of trying to prove to somebody that you're not what that man said you were, you don't realize how it's killing you. And here's the thing, if it was just killing you, okay, that probably would be cool. But it's killing your fans. Your fans are like, yo, get back to the music. Get back to the stuff you were dropping before this battle. And it's crazy because you just can't. It's almost like you can't. Are you not listening to them, or are you so full of rage that you can't? It's like you can't even see the cliff. It's like you're running towards a cliff, and we're all yelling like, "Yo, Drake, stop! It's a cliff. You about to kill yourself. Don't run and jump off. Don't run. Stop it. You gonna fall off. If you fall off, it's gonna be over. What you doing?" Like we all yelling, and he full speed running towards nothing, just to say he away from everybody, or everybody's an op now, and that's a dangerous place to be mentally. It's a dangerous place for you to sit up and be so arrogant you think that everybody's against you. It's not even that deep. What makes it deep is, Paul, is you continuing to go on this 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 one-sided war to try to take shots and try some get back. Get back to the music, bro. I'm not rolling with it because you know me, I'm Dot. So we grew up with Dot. So that's the homie. That's this the house. So I'm not gonna ever rock with you again. But you know, unless it's cool. But that's just me and my biasness, right? But I can admit that. What I'm saying for your fans, though, I feel bad for them because they've been crying out like, "Yo, get back to the music," and you hurting them. You so filled with rage, though, you don't even see it. You don't even hear them. What kind of place is that for you to be mentally? For you to be one of the most popular, biggest stars in the game, period. Not even just music, just period. And every morning, you think about the nigga from Compton. Every day, you think about the nigga from Compton. I gotta be a miserable feeling with all the money, all the access. You got a whole big old plane, all these things. The embassy is, I heard, was a really big mansion. You know, I heard you a lot of nice things. Bunch of records, bunch of like broken records and charted crazy numbers and all these things. A bunch of women. You did all the playing you can do. All the famous people, the friends, to help people make hits, to make hits for other people. All that for you to be going down this spiral is crazy to me. And I wonder, when does it stop? When will it stop? What has to happen for you to move on? It's crazy. I'm just like, I don't get it. And it's sad. And I'm a Kendrick fan. But it is sad to watch. It was just an L. Happens all the time. People losing battles all the time. But to prolong it and drag it this long to where it's affecting your bottom dollar, and it's affecting your bottom dollar not because your bottom dollar was officially affected, it's because you are making moves that are affecting your bottom dollar because of this L. You got so mad at bro, you try to take on your own label about a system that you benefited from. If that ain't delusional, I don't know what is. Do you know how crazy it would be if I tried to snitch on somebody about a crime about somebody that we both killed? You know how crazy that would be? Me and you did a crime somewhere years ago. We both buried the body somewhere. The label covered it up with money because they're the company covered up with money. And I got so mad at you. I got so mad at you. I'm gonna start to sue the record company because of the bodies that they buried, knowing that one of those bodies was mine. Absolutely insanity. It was a temper tantrum. That's the fact that it's not. See, it's one thing for guys to be saying like, "Yo," I'm like rapper fans, right? For sure, hip hop fans are like, "Yo, that's whack." You don't call the police in no battle. But when there's a large, massive voice of women saying like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" That's a problem because your core fan base is women, and they're all looking at you like, "Why are you acting like that?" They're having conversations at the house like, "When my boyfriend used to call you lame, I used to defend you. I used to say, you know what, you mad because you can't make hits like Drake, like Drake. That's why you mad at him. And then he'll come out with a new song, it'll be banging, it'll hit the charts, and you tell your boyfriend, so you mad because you can't do that." Nowadays, the women are like, "My boyfriend was right about you." You know what I mean? You know? That's what I'm saying. Who does that? You sued the label for something that if he benefited from, you benefited from. I don't understand that. And none of us do. So anyway, now you look crazy. We're not gonna harp on that all day. Now you look crazy. You look even more crazy. And you done drag this thing along. Look, this L could have been over. Technically, when GNX dropped last year, what was that? October, November? And what I mean by that, even though GNX was number one, it had all these songs that dropped from it. It didn't have Not Like Us on it. There's one. Then the next big move was the Super Bowl. Now the Super Bowl was inevitable, so we were already looking for it anyway. And the fact that some of us didn't know if he's going to do Not Like Us, which the real ones knew that. That's of course he's going to do Not Like Us. That's insane. Um, but you can, but the lawsuit popped up in like October, right? I think the lawsuit popped up right around the time GNX happened, if I'm not mistaken. So the majority of the jokes that came after that was of your doing. That's the part I didn't understand. And it makes me feel like, who do you have around you? I got a friend named Bird, right? Bird is one of my best friends to this day. Bird's a real respectable, hardworking, super dope entrepreneur. He was a CEO of he is the CEO of Diamond Lane Music Group. For those who know me in my rap career, Diamond Lane Music Group, I was an artist of Diamond Lane for years. So Bird is the type of friend will Bird will let you know when you look crazy. He not gonna front you in public. He not gonna be public at the dinner table like, "Yo, you wildin'." He not gonna do none of that. But he gonna pull you to the side or call you or something, have a conversation like, "Yo, you gotta chill. This looks nuts, and you better than that. Knock it off." He's that type of friend, right? He's that friend that's gonna pull you to the side and be like, "No, we not doing that." And he's letting you know that that's not what we do. We don't act like that, right? That sucker shit you doing, and we ain't that. So you ain't doing that. That's who Bird is, right? That's who Bird is to most of us, right? He the one that's gonna he the one that's gonna let it be known like, hey, we not that ain't how we rocking. We ain't getting down like that. He not gonna let it slide. He not gonna watch you do nothing crazy and embarrass yourself, and then gotta tell you later how you look crazy out in public. No, he gonna nip it in the bud right there in the spot. And if I gotta get at you, I'm gonna get at you privately. But it seems to me that he don't have those friends. They're nowhere around. And I don't understand all these dudes you be screaming on record. None of them dudes be saying, no, that look crazy. None of them dudes was like, nah, that lawsuit is a bad idea, bro. You gonna make this L even bigger than it is. That ain't it. And that somebody wasn't nobody there to be like, it's always the one homeboy who's not a yes man. Like I know a bunch of different groups and rich rappers and stuff like that. They all got a group of people where most of them are gonna slide with them because they the man. Any leader of his section or group or whatever he does, they got a following where there's the people that are gonna be like, yeah, are rolling with you just because you the main dude. But there's always, absolutely always, that one person that's gonna tell you exactly like it is. He don't care. He already a friend. He don't care. It's that one person that's gonna be like, nah, you niggas is crazy. He look crazy. You know what I mean? I was probably one of those one person. I was one of the ones that be like, nah, I ain't with that. I'm not doing that because you said do it. No, you look stupid right there. Oh no, you look dumb. I was the type that didn't vouch for the homie because I know how, didn't vouch for the homie when it comes to certain women because I know how dudes talk to women in private. So can't no dude be just tell me some one sided story and I believe him about his girl. First of all, I don't even want to hear about your girl. Second, I don't even believe you. The way dudes talk to women on the phone and text, these niggas be telling 5% of the truth in real life. So I'm that friend. I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm not rolling. That's what you got to do. Because why be with it? Why be with anybody who won't? Why surround yourself with people who don't help in no kind of way? Mentally, spiritually, financially. There's no benefit other than y'all laugh and joke about silly shit all day. Now, if you got a friend like that, that's cool too. When you're doing that, but you don't need a group of them. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I think people just need to get. I think people just need to get. This music thing is tough because I remember. I sound so old when I say this. I remember there was a time when when you would say you were a rapper and it was cool because everybody didn't know a rapper everywhere, right? Like everybody didn't have a studio at the house. Everybody wasn't putting out mixtapes and albums every week. It wasn't that much access to it. So you either knew someone with a studio access, which most of us didn't, or there was the one hood studio, the one dude who actually saved his money to buy real equipment, and he had a hood studio. So you didn't hear about. So when you if a young lady or somebody asks you like, what you do, you like, well, I'm an MC, or I'm a rapper. Oh, word. It was kind of like really. You got something out? You got something I can hear? That was the conversation. But there's too much going on today. It's too much. Too much. It's too much. So people look at it like it's a joke, you know. And I take it serious because I'm an MC until I rest, right? And I don't confine myself to the ideas of whatever the average citizen think an MC is or think of what a rapper is. So I'm fine. I'll be okay. But it's hard to respect it when most of y'all aren't looking at it the same way I'm looking at it. So in music, I'm taking that Drake conversation and moving it into music. To music, you start to feel the suffering of a culture that you once loved, or that you love. I do love hip hop, but I can't help to see the suffering in it. And I don't mean suffering like the real to suffering. I mean like the music, the content, the care. It's all going downhill. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can tell the majority, not all. excuse me. You can tell the majority of artists aren't putting their best foot forward. You can tell. Have you been to a rap concert lately that wasn't a legend, and you see the difference in performance? That tell you a lot about what you know off top. You ever been to shows and they got 1,000 niggas on stage? You don't know who got the mic. The sound is muffled because him and his friends, they all around the mic, and the homies is loud, so the mic picking it up. So you don't really know what's going on. It's not professional. It's not rehearsed. When me and Probably used to have shows, this was anywhere from 2000, 2010, 11, 12 on up till I left the game, right? Me and Probably would have shows. We had tours or big shows. We always had rehearsals. We always rehearsed. I knew where he was going to be on stage at what time. I know what songs, where to be, what to say. I know when he's going to stop breathing, so I can do a filler word in. If I'm being a hype man for him, when I come and do my songs and I do it, he already knew where I'm at. He know what stage, I'm gonna be on. He know what words I'm gonna drop out. We rehearsed, so it looked like a well choreographed show. You enjoyed it, right? It's like the basic rules of performing. We took care of it. A lot of people don't know you never turn your back on the crowd. How many rappers you see today turn their back on stage to rap to their homies? That is against the rules of stage performance. People can't engage with you if you turn your back to them. You never cross in front of the person who's rapping or singing. So if my boy has a problem coming across stage and he got the mic, he rapping, I go behind him. I don't go in front of him. It's like little rules like that you should know about. But people don't care nowadays. And let me tell you why. Because you don't care. I'm not talking about people necessarily in this community, but the game, the people, the game will sell you what you want. They will. The game will sell you what you want. Excuse me. That's what happens. So when you see if you're complaining about a sexy red, I'm just making up a name here. I'm not making up a name. I'm saying I don't make it about her personally. But if you're complaining about a sexy red, and you like, man, how's she the deal? How's she talking all this stuff? And I've heard all the comments about her, right? Good and bad. She's disgusting and nasty. She does this, whatever. She won't sell, and nobody will push her if nobody buys it. It's a fact. The label don't love you that much. The label loves no artist that much. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. The label loves no artist that much. So if somebody isn't grabbing the attention of the people, whether the youth, whoever, a large group of people in some kind of way, it doesn't get promoted. So it's funny when you hear that stupid, dumb argument, like I never. You heard the youngest today. I never got in the car and somebody said turn on that sexy red, or I've never got in the car and somebody said, put on that Kendrick Lamar. They try to diss people and say that. I've never been nowhere and somebody said put on Drake. It's always the opposite side trying to diss the opposite side, but that argument has holes in it, right? Because think about this: Once you take the hating off and put the hating to the side, think about this. I've never, in my 40 plus years of living, I've never in my life ever, not one time, been at a party and somebody requested Taylor Swift. I've never in my life, my 40 plus semi years of living, I've never been in the car and anybody, nobody, black, white, whoever, nobody ever, not one time in my 40 plus years of living in my good brain to remember, I've never heard nobody say, oh, I'm going to turn on that Taylor Swift. What does that mean? Nothing. She's still Taylor Swift. Because your worldview, your view is not the worldview. Remember we talked about that earlier. So because nobody ever played Taylor Swift around you, means she ain't Taylor Swift? There's millions and millions and millions of other people would beg to differ. They've been in some places where somebody said, turn on that Taylor Swift or put that Taylor Swift on. That's why I have that dumb argument with people. I ain't never been somewhere and somebody said, turn on. Nigga, so what? I ain't never been nowhere and somebody said, turn on Celine Dion. But guess what? Celine Dion is still Celine Dion. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Or you can look, you can, and I'm not sure who you deem an industry plant. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say you're making a suggestion on somebody I've said, but just circus. What is that? We only know what we. 100%, my whack. 100%. But back to your other question, back to your other comment, which I like. So an industry player has to at least have a following. I mean, yes and no. Initially, if you think someone's an industry plant, which I have no evidence on anyone being an industry plant. I'm not saying I don't believe we never had none. I'm just saying I can't point to anybody that I know for a fact 100% was an industry plant. I do have my ideas of who I think were industry plants, but that's it. It's just an idea. But you can put one in the game. You can insert one, and the hope is for it to gain a following, and that following becomes influential, or 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 um or or a selling machine, or a guaranteed sale for the income. So the following has to play somewhat of a part, for sure, because there's an ulterior motive involved or the ultimate goal, and sometimes that goal don't be as clear as day to the average civilian. You know, if you notice, if people we call our industry, I remember, not remember, Joe Budden just called out, for example, which I didn't like that he did this, but Joe Budden made a comment on one of the last few podcasts he had. I don't know which one it was, and he asked, "Where's Doechii? Anybody seen Doechii?" Right? And all the people on the podcast was like, "Wait, what? Like, what does that got to do with anything? What do you mean? Like, what's the context of that?" But I think the viewers knew what he was trying to say, and in my opinion, of listening to the Joe Budden podcast, I think he was trying to say like, she's a plant, and what happened to her? Like, where's she at? We ain't seen her. We ain't heard nothing from her. But we talked about this right here. The circle of understanding, we can only know what we are aware of within that circumference. That's what Joe was displaying on that podcast. Because just because you haven't heard her or seen her, don't mean she's not being heard or seen. She just did one of the biggest festivals there is in the world. She headlined, right? and she going on tour right now for her album, her number one album, which she just fresh off a Grammy about. So for you to blatantly make that statement on some "you got the knowledge," it's totally irresponsible. But here's the thing: other than Mark Lamont Hill, I don't look for responsibility on that show. I just don't. I enjoy Joe Budden podcast for exactly what it is. When they inserted Mark Lamont Hill, then great. Now I get some education too. That's just how I'm looking at it. But I don't look for responsibility, and I don't look for diehard true journalism on Joe Budden podcast either, because they be twisting up stories, giving half stories, and lying about other stuff, and giving their opinions, and sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. It's a podcast. They just talking. So I tend to kick back and view it that way so I can enjoy it. Straight up. You know what I mean? I just want to enjoy it. So, yeah, it's you know what's funny? Everybody just talking. Everybody just talking. Everybody want to be seen. Everybody want to be heard. Everyone wants their voice to cut through all the voices. And the dangerous part is that you realize that these people will do anything for that voice. Anything. Anything to cut through. I'm willing to bet. This is going to sound crazy, but I'm willing to bet. If you told an influencer or influencers, you know what? I'll give you all $50,000 and 500,000 added subscribers or followers. I'll give you 50,000 in cash and 500,000 subs, or let me not say subs, followers. Yeah, followers. How many people you think will sign up for that? 100%. And I think if you view it that way, then you would enjoy it. I've been enjoying. I enjoy it for all the years it's been on. We all have our issues and episodes that come up that may piss us off or whatever the case may be, but that's life, and that's podcast, and that's other people's opinion. You're not going to agree with everything. So yeah, 100%. But I'm not looking for them to be like top tier journalism where they know all the facts about a case or what's going on with people in the industry. Like Joe Budden always act like he know exactly what's going on in the industry. Nigga, none of us know exactly what's going on. You know, but I respect it. He been in this game. He been in the big label, running around the offices, meeting the people. You know what I mean? So I respect it. It's tough though. It's tough. It's tough. So yeah, man, I'll be tripping on a bunch of stuff, man. I know tomorrow. You know what? Michelle not around anymore. Michelle, you still in the building? Hey, my whack, we got to get on TV too, bro. You always dropping some gems in the chat. I can't front. Same, for real. That was a different Joe Budden too. A way different Joe Budden. That Joe Budden, pre money, Joe Budden, way different Joe Budden. Oh, dope, Michelle. So when the next time you want to go live? When the next time you are available? In my whack, are you ever available to go live? You stay dropping some gems, bro. Oh, dope. Okay, we got to chop it up then. When will you guys be available to go? Like, what's your? I know your schedules are probably all different. So, what's your availability to go live? I would love to get you both on, or maybe on at different times too. It don't matter, but I'll definitely love to chop it up with y'all. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, I'm about to go finish up my day. I'm gonna jump in for a minute. I'm gonna tap in tomorrow too. I gotta wait. What I gotta do in the morning? I don't think I gotta do it in the morning. Tap in tomorrow too. Same time, 11 a.m. Homeroom. I will tap in. I'll make a post and let y'all know that it's coming ahead of time, so I won't give y'all the heads up. Unless something crazy happens, something crazy pop up, then I'll let y'all know. But we definitely gonna be tapping in tomorrow 11 a.m. also for homeroom. And I got a couple of topics I think I want to tackle, but I also would love to have somebody to go live with on the pod. So y'all let me know. Mount Wax, so just know I'm interested in getting you on live. Michelle, we definitely got to double back and go live again. Let me see. I mean, I'm free in the evenings. Let me know when you want to do it, and we can what the topic is. So we can. Okay, dope. I'm free later Thursday, Friday. You know, let me. Okay. So maybe we'll do some Thursday and Friday in the evenings, maybe. It don't got to be homeroom in the morning. We can go live and just do a chat or something. We'll call it something else. Wake the community up. And I'm gonna have to make sure I got some topics. But I would love to have a dope discussion with y'all because I'm really into like doing panels and stuff. And like I said, I do want to try to bring those panels back or at least do them once a week. And I wasn't sure if I should do them only in the membership section or here. Um, so I'm figuring it out. But I do want to get y'all on, so that'll be dope. So I'll make sure I tap in with y'all beforehand, and we make sure I get it scheduled so I can get y'all links and stuff like that. Pause, and then we set it up. But I appreciate everybody in the building today. Michelle J, definitely in the building. Montwack TV, definitely in the building. Jen was definitely in the building. Breezy, definitely in the building. Kevin Finley, my boy, definitely in the building. It's Photo Up TV was definitely in the building. Scare Show was definitely in the building. That joke was funny too. I don't put it up earlier, but it was hilarious. Keep JT Lit was definitely in the building, man. I appreciate all y'all today. Let me see. I appreciate all y'all dropping in, man. I'm gonna tune in tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll be right back at it. Make sure I got some good topics on deck so we can chop it up with. Today I cut out a little early. I know it's an hour, so it maybe seem like a little early, but I got to cut out to handle some things. So, but tomorrow we'll be back at it at 11 a.m. We right back at it. Appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Peace.